What's going on, everybody? We got some Guns N' Roses news and some rumors as well. So the first piece of news is that, as you guys know, Guns N' Roses are doing another round of touring next year. Now, no opening acts have really been announced other than, I believe, for their Australia and Japan shows. So Australia, you got Rose Tattoo and Wolfmother opening for select dates. And then you've also got Baby Metal opening for Guns N' Roses and some of their shows in Japan. And we don't really know who's opening in their Europe tours next year or their North America tours, and that probably won't be known for a while. But an interesting article I found online is that Sebastian Bach was actually talking about a Skid Row reunion. So he was being interviewed on Eddie Trunk's Sirius XM show, Trunk Nation, earlier this week, and he was asked whether any updates on his long rumored reunion with other members of the classic lineup of Skid Row. And he responded by saying, "All I can say is that my manager, Rick, is talking to Skid Row's early manager, Doc McGee, who interestingly enough used to be Guns N' Roses manager before the reunion." He said, "That's all I can say, that that is what is happening, and I don't have anything else to tell you. All I can tell you is that we're not getting any younger, and let's put the hairband back together while we've got hair." So I think it's very possible. Sebastian Bach showed up at the Guns N' Roses shows in Vegas. He played a couple songs with Axl and the rest of the band on stage. He's opened for Guns a number of times, and I think everything we've seen so far has been like a throwback to the Use Your Illusion days. Like even their touring schedule, even a lot of the songs from the set list, and even the fact that Axl injured his leg or his foot, just like he did back in the Use Your Illusion days. Why not have another throwback by having Skid Row open for Guns for some of their 2017 shows? And I think they're trying to get all this stuff sorted out so that they can finally go open for Guns for their 2017 tour. So that's just speculation. I don't have any inside knowledge as to whether Skid Row is actually going to open for them, but I think it's a very good possibility it could happen. The other piece of news we got is that comedian Jim Florentine, who was on That Metal show with Eddie Trunk, he was being interviewed on Bill Burr's podcast, and the issue of Guns N' Roses actually came up. The topic of Guns N' Roses came up, and he claims that one of the big reasons why Guns N' Roses was able to reunite was because of Slash's divorce. Now, this isn't the first time we've heard this story, but he talks about a rumor that basically Axl's getting the most amount of money. He's getting 50% of the revenue basically from, or the profits from this tour. Duff's getting about 25, and Slash is getting about 25 as well. And now I think Axl is paying the rest of his band out of his payday. Like the guys like Richard Fortus, Melissa Reese, and so forth. But apparently he's claiming that Duff is giving some of his money to Slash to help Slash with his divorce. Slash had been married for about 14 years. He has 2 kids. In California, that's not going to be cheap, and he didn't have a prenup either. So he claims that Duff is giving Slash some of his money because Duff has made a ton of money in the past off some of the really smart investments he's made. Duff invested in companies like Amazon and Starbucks and Microsoft back during the mid-90s before they were, the big companies they are now. So he also talks a bit about AC/DC. He said that Axl has done an incredible job with AC/DC, and he claims that seeing guys like David Bowie pass away, seeing guys, other musicians he admired pass away, may have been the reason also why Axl decided to get out there and play more shows and reunite with his ex-bandmates as well. So if you guys want to listen to it, I've linked to the podcast. It's if you go to the 48-minute mark, they talk a bit about Guns N' Roses, and then you go to the 55-minute mark, they talk a bit about AC/DC. So that basically does it for that news for today. I was looking at the Guns N' Roses show they're playing in my city in Edmonton, and there's still some good tickets available. I'm actually shocked. Like there's some good seats which are right next to the stage that are still available, and it makes me think that either A, like I said in my yesterday's episode, the tickets are either way too expensive, which they definitely are, and B, where I live, the economy is really bad, and people are a little more stingy with spending. Like even when you go to the malls where I live, they're just not as busy as they used to be, and you can tell. And you talk to a lot of people, and they say, yeah, things have slowed down. So I wonder whether Guns N' Roses' tour next year is going to be as successful as they originally thought. Had they done this tour 3 years ago, I guarantee it would have been a lot more financially successful, and they would have definitely sold a lot more tickets, at least where I live. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Did you guys get tickets to Guns N' Roses shows for next year? And the one thing I should point out too is that if you saw my video yesterday, Guns N' Roses have sold over 1 million tickets within the first 24 hours of their 2017 tour going on sale. Now, to put this into perspective, back in 1991 to 1993, Guns N' Roses played a total of 192 shows to over 7 million fans. So Guns are not going to be playing 192 shows once again, but they I wonder if they're going to hit the 5 million mark when it comes to the amount of fans they're playing in front of. It's kind of hard to say. I don't think they will hit 5 million because that's just for Europe and North America, that 1 million mark. And then I'm sure there'll be some more ticket sales, but I'm sure we'll see some numbers as the tour goes on. But that does it for today's video, guys. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, make sure you subscribe for the latest Guns N' Roses news. Take care.